If your snake plant's leaves have gone soft and yellow at the base, here's what almost everyone gets backwards. It's not thirsty. It's drowning. Here's the 2-second check. A finger pressed 2 inches into that soil. Still moist down there? Watering again could kill it within days, and that stings if you love this plant. Stick with me. We'll walk through 5 steps to save it, even if some roots have already turned black. My grandmother swore these things were nearly impossible to kill. Turns out, nearly is doing some real work in that sentence, so don't panic yet. There are really only 2 things going on when a snake plant looks bad. They look almost identical from across the room. One is a plant that's bone dry. The leaves wrinkle and go grey-green. The other is a plant that's drowning. The leaves go soft and yellow, usually starting right at the base. University of Maryland Extension puts it simply, check the soil, not just the leaf, since most home growers trust their own finger over any gadget. Moisture meters read electrical conductivity, not real water. Your finger, 2 inches deep, tells you the truth every time. And here's a strange bit of history while we get moving. Back in 1903, a botanist named David Prane classified this plant as Dracaena, not Sansevieria. And it took until 2017 for DNA testing at Kew Gardens to prove him right. This plant's been misunderstood for over a century, and it turns out, so is the way most of us water it. Step 1 starts with your hands, not a tool, and it feels almost too simple. This takes about 10 minutes. No fancy tools, just a sink and a little patience. If that soil's still wet at 2 inches and the leaf base feels soft, it's time for the next move. That's gently lifting the whole plant out of its pot. A lukewarm rinse over the roots lets you actually see what you're working with. Healthy roots are white or light tan and firm. Rotted roots are mushy, brown to black, and you'll know it. They smell bad. That's it. No guessing required. Once you can see the damage, the next tool you pick up decides whether this plant makes it. That's a little nerve-wracking, honestly. One quick safety note before we grab that knife. The rubbing alcohol, the peroxide, and the rooting hormone we'll use in the next few steps should stay well away from pets and kids while you work, and back up on a high shelf once you're done. If a pet licks any of it before it dries, call your vet. Better safe than sorry. Step 2 calls for 1 knife, sterilized first with a wipe of rubbing alcohol. That's the whole toolkit. 1 knife, a splash of rubbing alcohol. From there, every root that's mushy or dark gets cut away until only healthy white tissue remains. Here's the thing worth knowing. The single biggest reason these rescues fail is leaving a little infected root behind. It's easy to think that's close enough. It rarely is. When in doubt, the safer move is cutting more than feels necessary. Cutting the rot out is only half the job. What happens to that cut end next decides if the rot comes back. And this part's easy to rush. Step 3 is treating those fresh cuts before they touch new soil. Plenty of growers use a mild hydrogen peroxide rinse, roughly 1 part peroxide to a few parts water. Others use a light dusting of plain cinnamon on the cut ends instead. A little goes a long way here, so 1 light dusting is plenty. To be fair, cinnamon isn't a cure. It's a helper, not a fix. It works best after the rot's already been cut away, not instead of cutting it. But before repotting this thing, there's one spot on the plant that decides everything. It's called the crown, right above the roots, where the leaves come together. Is yours soft there too? Hang on to that question. We're coming back to it. Promise. Step 4 is fresh soil, and it's the step people skip. Snake plants need a pot with several drainage holes, not just one, plus a mix that drains fast. Extension advice points to a cactus or succulent blend, sometimes with a bit of added perlite for extra drainage. A bag of perlite runs about $8. That's a lot cheaper than replacing a snake plant, which usually costs $15 to $25. Here's the real reason this works, and I mean it's kind of satisfying once it clicks. Extension offices across the country word this differently, but they all land on the same point. It's not really the water that kills the plant. It's the oxygen. Waterlogged soil pushes air out of the root zone, and that's exactly the environment root rot fungus needs to take over. Think of it like holding your head underwater. Roots need to breathe too, and waterlogged soil is like a plastic bag over their face. Once the drainage is fixed, the proof shows up on its own. Fewer black roots, more new white ones. Getting the soil right only works if the watering habit changes too. Step 5 is the easiest one. A habit change, not just a soil change. That same 2-inch finger test, done before every watering, is the whole trick. Snake plants can go 2 to 8 weeks without water and still be fine. Old-timers in the gardening world have said it for years, and extension offices back it up today. With this plant, less really is more. 3 mistakes trip people up more than anything else. First, like we said, leaving even a little rotted root behind. Second, skipping the crown check completely and repotting a plant that was already too far gone. Third, watering again right after repotting, out of habit, before the plants had a chance to settle. A few days of patience goes a long way here. Patience really is the cheapest tool in this whole process. Dirt cheap, if we're being honest. Now, back to that question about the crown. If it's soft or it smells bad, here's the honest answer. That plant likely isn't coming back. That's a hard one to hear. The Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station's Plant Pathology Handbook puts it plainly. Once the crown itself is rotted, recovery is unlikely. The kindest thing at that point is letting it go. There's no need to panic. This isn't a total loss. If even one leaf is still firm and green, there's still a path forward. That path starts with cutting it into 3 or 4-inch sections. Next comes dipping the cut end in rooting hormone. Then it's set 1 inch or 2 into damp perlite or sand. Warmth, bright, indirect light do the rest. New growth usually shows up at the base in about 2 months. Sometimes tiny rooted plantlets are already growing at the base of the old plant. They're worth checking for before anything gets tossed out. And for anyone with a cat who likes to dig, here's a tip. Keeping them away from that fresh soil for a few days while it settles is a smart move. So that's it. 5 steps. Check, cut, treat, repot, and change the habit. Growing it right just means keeping the roots dry between drinks, and this plant will easily outlast the one on your neighbour's windowsill. If you're the kind of gardener who checks the soil before reaching for the can, you're already ahead of most folks growing this plant. What state are you gardening in? And did your snake plant make it? Feel free to share down in the comments. Grow a little more, save a little money, and have some fun doing it. Happy gardening!